All right, welcome to the big show. You guys have watched Between the Lines. We're back once again. This is the big one, football focus weekly. We got the family ready to go, but once again, we are not sponsored this week. I'm tired of not being sponsored. I want to promote something, man. Somebody hook us up with some sponsorships here. You could be featured right now. Start of the show. Like I said, when people watch this on the playback, that's the biggest time we get viewers as far as numbers go. You can be featured. Hundreds of people can see your brand right here if you choose to sponsor with us. Up to you. Anyway, let's start the show. After the intro, we'll be right back with Coach Holt from JM Robinson defensive line coach. I'm slamming this week is snow tubing. Snow tubing, number one, is not made for men of my stature. I can't deal with this Men 21 game, man. It's so terrible.
Y'all act like football stops being played when y'all leave Mecklenburg County. We play football here in Cabarrus County too. And then even though it was raining, I was rolling around in the yard doing freaking grass angels out there.
Hallelujah!
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is make sure your wife, your girlfriends, your mistress look, I'm back.
See, I got my hat on backwards. And it ain't because I'm a G either. It's because I'm angry. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm angry.
So I'm gonna have to start. This is gonna be a large group of people, so I might have to walk around with like a slime gun or a slime cannon, or maybe put the slime in like an old school super soaker.
Joe Hughes! Joe Hughes! Cowboy Joe! You know it's a big night if Cowboy Joe's here. My goodness.
Y'all always put me on blast first, man. Who am I slamming? Good question.
All right, welcome back. We're going to bring on our first guest tonight. He is the defensive line coach for the JM Robinson Bulldogs up in Cabarrus County, where they also play football, according to Kenneth McClamrock. That is Gerald Holt, and we're going to bring him on right now. Coach, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. It's been a fun day, and it's going to be an even better night on Football Focus Weekly. We're glad to have you, man.
I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely, man. So first of all, for those that don't know you, talk to us a little bit about your playing career and your coaching background, if you don't mind, Coach.
So as a player, I actually played, speaking of Cabarrus County football, I did play at A.L. Brown High School for 4 years. I was on the varsity team there from freshman through senior year. Was able to get a scholarship and go play scholarship on a scholarship for football at Liberty University for 4 years. After that, this is actually my 5th year coaching now. I started my first year coaching, was an assistant coach at Cannon School in Concord, then moved over to Central Bears with Coach McClamrock, and then have now been at JM Robinson. This is my second football season at JM Robinson.
That's a fumble on my part. I forgot to turn my mic back on, so that's an early fumble, but we're going to recover from it. It's okay. Yes, all right, so coaching at JM Robinson, man. Obviously, you're under Coach D-Rob, Darius Robinson up there, man. What's the best thing about working for Coach D-Rob?
The one thing that stands out with Coach D-Rob over just about any other coach that I've worked with or been coached by is just his energy. Outside of Coach McClamrock himself, said working with those two together it was fun to come to practice, but just his energy and his tenacity that he brings to practice every day, the ability that he gets to tap into that every single day. I don't know where he gets it from or how he does it. I mean, the man is on 1,000 every single day during the week of practice, and then on Friday, on game days, he is he is the calmest person on the field on either side of the ball. I mean, on either side, any team, like he is on 12 Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday nights when the lights come on, he's keeping everybody else calm, and it's almost like he goes into this headspace that it's like he's thinking through everything that could or could not go wrong for the game, and has the ability to lock in and keep everybody else under control and calm in that situation. Honestly, his ability to control the process of start to finish for the entire football program is one of the things that just sets him apart in my book that I've seen.
Wow, to see D-Rob calm on the sideline, I'm going to have to go watch that just for my own belief because I don't believe it.
Well, he hired me, man. He let me do all of the running around and jumping around on Friday nights. And thank God I haven't gotten a penalty yet from the celebrating stuff that I do, because I'm sure there's a referee that sit there looking at me like, what is he doing? Like, what is wrong with that coach? Like, can you get the coaches back, Coach D-Rob? And he'll look at me, especially when the D-line makes a big play. He talked about it today. I'll sit there and wait on him, and he'll walk away from me. Now he doesn't even turn around anymore, and I've realized it. I'll sit there and I start doing a little finger pointing at him. I'll squat down and he hit a little finger gun. He doesn't even look at me anymore when the D-line makes a play. He doesn't even celebrate because he knows I'm down there acting a plumb fool. So it's fun. It's fun to get to have that energy.
And that led to my next question, man. I was going to ask you, what is your coaching style? Are you energetic or are you more laid back? But I think you just answered it right there.
So yeah, I am. I try to be all energy all the time because I told Coach D-Rob this a couple of days ago and defensive staff when we were meeting the other day. Mm-hmm. Is I know that your players are going to mimic everything that you do. And if I'm not bringing my best energy Monday through Friday, my football players won't bring their best energy Monday through Friday. Because one thing that I know for me as a player is I want my coach to know that I'm going 100 miles per hour nonstop, even if I mess up. And that's what I tell my players. It's like, I want to know that the two things that you can control in a game, you're doing those 100% of the time. That's your energy and your effort. And I coach like that as well. I can control my energy and my effort that I put in Monday through Friday. And I coach to that level. And so sometimes I get a little bit too riled up and don't realize where I'm at in the situation. And here comes D-Rob trying to get everybody calm or get them calm back down. And he becomes my voice of reason at that time. And just that ability. Again, I try to stay as high as again at a level head, but with as much energy and passion as I can bring.
Man, that's awesome, man. You got a fan here, Coach Dwayne Lucky, saying great young coach.
Look.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Good stuff. A little bit of support on the show. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring on somebody that I think you're familiar with. We call him the Engine and the Professor, but you probably know him as Coach, and probably a couple other names that I'm not aware of. And that is Kenneth McClamrock, and I'm sure he's got a question or two for you, Coach.
Coach Holt!
What's up? There he is.
Well, I've been waiting on you to start popping some Skittles in your mouth while you were interviewing.
I didn't have any with me tonight, Coach. I stopped at the store on the way home to get some stuff to clean up the house with and forgot to grab the Skittles because I know when I show back up at that school tomorrow for the JV game, the kids are going to say, Coach, where are the Skittles at? Because I didn't have them last week, and I told them I will have them next week. So I know
everybody knows where you can get some sour Skittles, and it's at Coach Holt's, wherever he is. He's got it with him. So, Coach, man, obviously, first off, thank you for coming on to the show. You know how much I love you. You know how much respect I have for you. Coach Lucky, ironically, was the one who hooked us up a couple of seasons ago. And I've told you this, one of the things that impressed me the most was as a young coach, you immediately jumped into the fold. You immediately started coaching. You were very technical, sometimes too technical. Coach Holt, let's break it off into 4 or 5 different steps because you're showing them too much. But I want to ask you a question. So you're a defensive line guy. I coached against you. You were probably, not probably, without a doubt, one of the best defensive linemen that I ever had to prepare against as an offensive line coach, as an offensive coach when you played for A.L. Brown. And there's no doubt in your future you're going to be a great defensive coordinator. You're going to be a great head coach one day. But last year, you had the opportunity to switch sides of the ball. You worked with the offensive line. You worked with the wide receivers, which I very much enjoyed watching you trying to coach up some wide receivers. But, Coach, I want to know, how much did you learn last year as an offensive coach, and how has that helped you this year going back to your more natural spot on the defensive side?
Without a doubt, being able to work for an offense coordinator like Braswell was I learned just scheming X and O's wise so much from Coach Fall, and seeing it from the I used to tell receivers, I was like, so much of the first part of being a receiver when it comes to blocking and getting off of blocks and trying to get open in your routes is much like playing D-line. It's all, like I said, it's all hand fighting. It's all attacking the line of scrimmage and attacking vertically. And being able to see that scheme and know those schemes and see what they mean from the offensive perspective, I was able to take that to the defensive line and tell them, like, hey, in this zone scheme, you're going to see the running back see what they have a three-step decision, or an offensive lineman is either going to decide when they're doing outside zone, knock it over, take it over, climb, stuff like that. So being able to take that technique and take that lingo or that terminology and explain it to the defensive line from the offensive lines or the offensive perspective helps them to be in a better position to make more plays. Mm-hmm. So learning all of that has really opened my eyes to have my guys in the best possible position and explain football to them in much simpler terms, because like you said, sometimes I get too technical. I have learned that, but understanding that I can, like you said, break down the steps and show them why each step is taken the way that it's to be taken so that they can attack the offense and be in their best position.
Coach, one more question while I have you on, and not to put you on the spot because, I'm not about that, but I've seen you guys live this year. I'm going to see you guys live again this Friday at North Stanley. And I think that you have one of the top defensive lines and defensive fronts that I've seen this year. Coach, how good is your defensive line? How good can you guys be? And what makes this group so special?
Now, we were at practice yesterday doing one-on-ones with the offensive line, and I think one-on-ones is one of those times where you can kind of play around just to see what it looks like. And I took a couple guys and put them in a group together, and we did 5-on-4. And I looked at the group, and I looked across the board, and I was like, if I was an offensive lineman in high school, either in our conference or in our county, whatever, and I saw that defensive line or that defensive front walk out, I might poop my pants, because they are just like you. They're what you just said. They're special. That is a very special group that has a very bright and very high upside. And the thing that I worked the hardest to get them to work on is to focus on the small details, because their athletic ability is far and away better than just about anybody that I've seen from any level of high school football in the state. That's just athletic ability. As you can call it biased or unbiased. You look at that talent in that group, and it's something special to see. And I tried to work my hardest to get those guys to buy in to what I was selling. And I think as the season has gone along, they've started to really notice that if they do the little things that I asked them to do, it really pays off for them. And their ability to come to work each and every day. Like some days, because I'm working at another school in the county and have to drive to practice, and some days I get there late. I get there and they're already doing all of their indie or pre-practice stuff without me being there, and I'm like, that's when I know that I can begin to build on the next step, because they already know to do the little things when I'm not there, so they can take accountability for the group, and it's starting to show each and every week because they make more and more plays every week because they take the accountability for trying to get better.
Mm-hmm. Well, G, you know how much I love you, how much I'm pulling for this, man. And I'll see you guys Friday night.
Most definitely. Love you too, Coach.
All right. Thank you, Engine. We'll see you in a minute. All right, Coach. My last question for you is: you talked about the talent you guys have on that D line. Who are some of those guys that you can kind of share with us?
So we have, let's see, we got David Hobbs, who was called in the Independent Tribune the Mutant. Don't know why they did that. That guy is special. I mean, a legitimate, and this is no joke, 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", 235. I think they said he ran like a 4.78 or 4.79 at the Wake Forest camp because he also plays tight end as well. We have Andrew Jordan, or Big Drew. He's a defensive tackle for me. We have Lorenzo Morgan, Denaz White. We call him Debo. We have another guy who's an outside linebacker type who comes down on the line of scrimmage for us a lot. Isaiah Herrera is another one. And then who else do we have? We got TJ Macklin, PJ Hemphill. I hope I'm not missing anybody. I see some of these guys so often. I've given them all nicknames just because by the time I get there, they all joking around and getting to work. But I mean, just those guys, they're a special group. They make me look good. I used to joke around saying I'm the best D-line coach in the country because of the talent that I have. But all jokes aside, they truly do make me look like I'm doing something special, even though they are putting in the work. I say, remember those names: David Hobbs, Andrew Jordan, Lorenzo Morgan, Denaz White, Isaiah Herrera, TJ Macklin. You'll start to hear a lot more of those names as the season goes on. Hopefully, a chance to make a run at the state title, maybe run into those golden lines out of Shelby.
I know why you said that. But a couple of those names you mentioned, definitely the first two in Herrera, I have heard good things about, and I've seen film on those guys as well. So they are very talented, and you're doing a heck of a job with that D-line. Coach, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight, man. And, I know Kenneth will see you soon, and hopefully we'll, get out there and see you guys soon as well.
And most definitely, I appreciate you guys having me on tonight. It's been a pleasure, most definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Have a good night, man.
Thank you as well.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. That was JM Robinson defensive line coach Gerald Holt. Doing a great job with those guys up there. Those are some really talented guys. I have seen film on a couple of those guys, and they're doing a really strong job, which is why one of the JM Robinson's one of the top teams here in the Charlotte metro area. All right, so introduction time for the crew. Of course, y'all have seen the Engine and the Professor already. He's becoming a regular. I'm going to have to put him in the intro somehow. Big Shelby's back with us for about the fifth week in a row. Glad to have him on the show. The producer's here.
Greetings. Glad to be here.
It's good to see you. Good to see you. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, the Queen is here.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Queen?
All right. So now it is time to get down to business with the rapid review. And we're going to get it up on the screen right now and let you guys kind of talk for a few minutes about what happened in last week's action. All right. So what stands out to you right there? I know what stands out to me.
Well, I've questioned on the show just how good Myers Park is multiple times, just because the competition isn't competition that we've always seen. But beating Audrey Hale 13-7, holding that powerful, potent offense to just 7 points, I think speaks volumes for how good Myers Park is. They are not going to let Hoof or Chambers walk away as the best team in the city, the best team in the state. Those boys are hungry, and they want to be recognized.
Absolutely. Well
And
said.
if I'm not mistaken, that's their second week in a row. We'll call it winning by defense.
Yep, exactly. And one of the things that has come out is, the star receiver Kamarion Thornton is hurt, and he's probably done for the season. So, they still have some guys that can get it done on the offensive side of football, but that's a big blow to them. So as the offense kind of transitions without him, it's good to see the defense is picking it up. And when you play complementary football, you win a lot of games. And right now they're in the catbird seat in the SoMec conference because of that. North Mech over Mallard Creek. When I did, because I was by myself, I did Friday Night Live last Friday. That was a game that a lot of the fans wanted to talk about. Because,
I don't know why anybody was surprised by Pep. I'm serious. I saw North Met play versus Huff, and when the game was over with, I told Coach Farine, who was on our show the week prior, and I told Coach Roy, their defensive line coach, I said, guys, y'all will beat Mallard Creek. And I went ahead and told them then, it hasn't happened yet, but I believe they will also beat West Charlotte as well. And so when I saw that score, the first thing that I did was I texted Coach Farine. I said, I told you. And he goes, Coach, we played our butts off. And, of course, he was all complimentary of his kids and how hard they worked. But that score is not a surprise to me because North Mech's defense is legitimate. The points that were scored by Huff were off of special teams and short yardage. Their defense played lights out. Coach Farine had a great game plan versus Huff. They swarmed to the football, which is what you want to see. That's the quality of a team that is balled in. When you watch Shelby play, those Shelby defensive golden lines, they swarm to the football, and there are 6 guys hitting the running back every single time. Every time. That's what North Mech does. And I think North Mech has potential to surprise some more teams this year.
Strong words.
I think that game had a lot. That game had a lot of controversy behind it too. After a couple things happened by the Mallard Creek staff.
Yeah. There's been a. It's been a
so
lot.
I think the game. I think people overlooked the game. I think people thought Mallard Creek was just going to walk the park with North Mech. Then they lost on homecoming. Then they had the jersey controversy as well. So there's a lot of things going on in that game.
And I think
they've got solid defensive linemen. They've got solid linebackers. They have solid wide receiver play. They've got a big offensive line. North Mech is a good football team.
Go ahead, producer.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I think the coaches and the kids in North Mech, deserve credit for getting what I call a signature win for their season. And it was unfortunate to see that the narrative that a lot of people wanted to spin was about Mallard Creek losing instead of North Mech winning. And I think that's just, that's unfair to the kids and the coaches that are, like McClamrock said, working their butt off and got a good win. But a lot of people only want to talk about how Mallard Creek lost when I think you need to divert a lot of attention to North Mech and what they did to win. So, they deserve all the credit, and, that we need to just, they got the spotlight on them now. So, they kind of fly under the radar sometimes. So, it's good to see them get a signature win and, excited to see, where they go from here.
Absolutely. That's good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right, let's go on down the line here. Next set of scores. Latin getting a big win over Christ School. Huff winning big over West Mech. I think pretty much most of those things were expected. Raven Gap beating Charlotte Christian on the road. Big win for those guys in that conference. And then on down the line some more. Central Bears, Kenneth, your old stomping ground, getting a win over South Rowan. West Charlotte, second week in a row, putting up 55-plus points over Hopewell. Yeah. Coach Grinder's got the offense going. Battle of Allegheny, Barry over Harding. Of course, me and producer were there for that one. Barry had a big second quarter. They scored 21 points. That was really the engine driving that victory right there. And then Marvin Ridge over Porter Ridge. We all got that pick wrong.
Got a lot of picks wrong.
Oh, don't worry. We all did. Don't worry. You guys got any thoughts on these scores?
Cuthbertson is starting to pick up some momentum. In a league, in a county where football is good, Cuthbertson is starting to do some really nice things here. And 39 points. They beat JM Robinson, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Cuthbertson is starting to figure some things out. That's a dark horse to be looking out for.
Yeah, that's a good point. And they've been battling the pandemic the past few weeks, but I think they're starting to get everybody back. and that's a reflection of that. So, good observation right there. All right, let's go on down the line. Oh, Concord getting a win over Carson. That was big.
3 in a row.
Yeah, undefeated in conference. Excuse me. South Point over Catawba Ridge. Big win for South Point in region play. West Rowan staying on top of that SPC with Concord. Big win over Northwest Cabarrus. I was a little surprised at the margin. I thought that was going to be a little closer.
Yeah.
And then Providence Day, kind of getting some things straightened out, getting some guys healthy with big win over Country Day. On down the line here, let's see, Northwestern with a big win, Nation Ford with a big win, Milltown Showdown for those guys in Fort Mill. Ashbrook getting their first win of the season over North Gaston. Let's see, Kings Mountain over Forest View. That was a pretty good game right there. Crest over South Point, big game. Crest came back to win that game over South Point. Joe Hughes was there, and did some good write-ups on that one. Mari Adams, big running back, is really strong for Crest. Had a big game once again. Let's see what else we got here. Cox Mill. Oh, Queen, you want to talk about Cox Mill, A.L. Brown? I know you were there.
Yeah, just a really defensive game, and me, I'm big on defense, so I was really excited to see that. A.L. Brown, hats off to them for trying, but they, I think there were a lot of penalties in that game as well, that kind of worked against A.L. Brown. But it was a really big effort by Cox Mill. So definitely hats off to those guys.
Yeah, it's a good win for Cox Mill. They had lost 3 in a row going into that game, right. And now A.L. Brown has lost 3 in a row, and they got some challenges going down the road. Big Shelby, you want to talk about your big win?
We talk about more so about how Holland Tech has to play their games at a different place because of they're not getting the justice they deserve as far as facility wise. Those guys, they got some good kids, good coaches, man. I just feel like that I really think Holland Tech could be better than what they are if they are given the proper equipment and proper equipment and field necessary, because they lose a lot of kids because of that. So while they may still get some smart kids that can play, like, hey, he has 2 or 3 guys that can play, but you have to have a whole team in order to compete and to win. So I feel like if they are able to upgrade their facilities and equipment and things like that, I feel like they will make a jump here in the next couple of years, just off the strength of them being a magnet school. So they're able to recruit or however they need to, but without those proper facilities, they won't be able to. But other than that, it was a good night for us. We got a lot of things. We had a lot of things we had to work on this week, getting ready for Crest. So.
Absolutely. And I know how that is with facilities, man. So I'll tell you, it's crazy how this world is, man. It really is. Lake Norman getting a big win over West Cabarrus, setting up a big matchup we're going to talk about here in a few minutes with Hickory Ridge. Hickory Ridge getting the win over South Iredale. That was big. East Gaston keeping it going over Thomas Jefferson. Thank goodness, because that gave me a win in the predictions that I sorely needed. And then York beating Indian Land. That was one that most of us got wrong. I think, Big Shelby, you got that one right. So that's the rapid review. Good stuff, man. All right. We're going to jump over to the new rankings. I'm going to get that up on the screen. Talk amongst yourselves.
I don't like them.
You don't like them? You ain't even seen them.
It doesn't matter. I know they're going to be wrong.
I appreciate your confidence in me.
That's a hater.
Oh, we got some comments, too, I got to address. So y'all take a look at that while we address the comments here. All right, let's see here. Okay, Chris. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you, man. Good stuff.
Hey, what's up, Sheree? What's up, Brandon? What's up, Big
Hey, they don't care about us, man.
What?
Well, Professor, you're gonna really enjoy this comment right here. Jared Bradshaw says Kenneth McClamick is the John Gruden of high school football.
Wow, Stucky dog.
Good gracious.
That's a compliment.
John Gruden.
Why two banana?
How much did you pay? Jared, how much did you get paid for to say that? Good night, man. All right, Miss Burlows, it's okay. It's okay. You know, it's all right. You know, Miss Burlows is one of our most dedicated watchers, man. She does an awesome stuff. She does an awesome job with South Mech, taking pictures and everything down there, and she's dedicated to this show every week. And your friend, I'm gonna address your friend in the slime, and producer, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we're gonna address that later on. Let's see. Damian Jackson talking about Porter Ridge saying they pooped the bed. You know, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's a long season. You know, every game ain't gonna be perfect, but you know, it's only a 2-point loss. Man, you can bounce back. You got a big one this week. We're gonna talk about in a minute. You know what's coming. Yep, it's coming. Y'all just wait and see. It's coming. We had a discussion on Facebook on Sunday. That's where it's coming from. But anyway. All right. I know. We're going to address it tonight. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all find out what I'm talking about. It has to be addressed. We can't have that on football. Anyway. So, the Dirty Dozen this week. We got Hoof at 1. Of course, there's no changes on the left side. A couple changes on the right side. Leighton moving up to 10 because we had a couple teams lose. And then introducing Crest at 11 and then Marvin Ridge at 12. Both with big wins over former teams in the Dirty Dozen. Crest over South Point and then Marvin Ridge over Porter Ridge. So, what do you guys think about that?
Nice to see another Cleveland County school in there with us, man. Let's go putting on for our little small county, man.
You know, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get out of there safe. I'm telling you, I'm worried about these Kings Mountain fans. They're going to be really mad at me, man.
It's fine. You don't got to worry about
that. That's good to know. Kenneth, you look like you got something to say.
No, I mean, I'm looking at this list, and I'm just thinking how incredible the football play is by these 12 teams. I mean, this is as good of a concentrated group of teams as you'll find almost anywhere in the nation. From 1 to 12, I mean, we are so blessed to be in this area. We're so blessed to have the talent levels that we have, the amount of coaches who coach at such a high levels as what we have. I mean, this is phenomenal. This is a phenomenal list of football players and talent and programs.
Yeah,
I
had my doubts about Marvin Ridge, you know, up until they played Porter Ridge. And it was just solely based off, you know, the game that I saw them against Independence in. I was like, you know, they beat Independence, and, you know, Independence, you know, got a new coach, and, you know, they had a lot of stuff that they had to work on. So, you know, I didn't really give them, you know, a lot of credit. But getting that win against Porter Ridge, that was pretty big for them. So, you know, definitely kudos to those guys. And I think after that, they do deserve to be there. So shout out to them.
Absolutely. So Miss Wolf, what you see on the screen is last week's results. So last week, Huff defeated West Mech. Chambers didn't play. Myers Park defeated Archie Kell. Charlotte Catholic beat Rocky River, and on down the line. So what you see on the screen is last week's results. And I've got that question a couple times when I posted the poll on Twitter or on Instagram. So that's last week. Maybe I'll put it on there. That's last week's results on the screen. So just in case anyone was wondering. All right, good stuff. Let's go to the next one, the county rankings. So in the county rankings, we got, you know, no changes in Mecklenburg County. Gaston County, pretty much the same right there. Kenneth, thank you for mentioning Cabarrus Warriors last week and the fact that they played Herald's really close, and you were there. What did you see in that game?
You know, it started off, I thought that the Cabarrus Warriors were going to run away with it. Harold's Christian Academy played a really slow down offense. In fact, I think they went 10 minutes with the ball from the opening drive. And then Cabarrus Warriors come out, you know, and they're 4 wide, and they're throwing the ball over the place and moving super fast, and everything looked really good. And then surprisingly, Harold's Christian Academy was able to slow them down. And I think it really messed up the momentum. It really messed up just the swing of things. The Warriors struggled to get back in an offensive rhythm. As good as Tyler Green as a quarterback, and he is the real deal, Pep. I was not sure how good he was going to be, but it took me 3 plays to realize this kid can play. They've got the Lamb kid who was at Mount Pleasant, whose dad played in the NFL. They've got a little running back, Green, who can fly, who I felt like the officials did wrong a couple of times on some penalties where he got some touchdowns called back. One of them got overturned, but one of them did not. I was really impressed by them. There was some good football being played by those 2 football teams. Like I said, I was not sure what to expect from the Warriors because I haven't seen them before, but I was very impressed with Coach Bolton. I was very impressed with his schemes, and I was very impressed with the talent of play that I saw.
Yeah, they do a good job up there. They really do. And the funny thing about them is they're still young. I mean, they did a lot last year with freshmen. A lot of their best players were freshmen, and they made the playoffs.
They're
and they
all
played
sophomores.
Yeah. They played that same team in the playoffs, and they got smoked down there at Harold's. So to see that game being so close now just shows how far that they've come, and closed that gap already. So I hope they see them again in the playoffs because, I think they'll get them, usually that second time around.
Yeah, athletically, I think that Cabarrus Warriors could play with any public school in Cabarrus County right now, with the exception of maybe a Hickory Ridge. They're big. They're athletic. They have good numbers. They had over 40 players. I mean, their offensive line were probably average in the 6'2", 240-pound range, which is way bigger than any offensive line I ever had at Central Cabarrus. Definitely Easter OM, where we were like 5'8", 145 pounds. But, I was really impressed by them.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Awesome. All right, so I did move Kings Mountain up to 3 in the Cleveland County rankings because after they kept fussing at me that they beat Burns, I said, okay, I got you. And they won a
peer pressure.
Yeah, well, I'm human.
This is your show, man.
That is human.
Union County, a little bit of movement because of Porter Ridge's loss, so Marvin Ridge and Weddington move up to 1 and 2 respectively. And in the upstate, still keeping South Point above Northwestern, even though Northwestern has been playing really well. I feel like South Point's victory kind of got them back on keel after the loss they had to Spring Valley. So what do you guys think about these?
I love the fact that Monroe is starting to play good football again. I mean, Monroe is one of the cream of the crops. I mean, they're a state championship caliber team every single year. I think that when Monroe is good, it makes football in this general area better.
Queen, did you have something?
No, I said I got nothing.
Oh, okay. For the upstate, I thought about putting York ahead of Indian Land because they did beat them head to head, but
wow.
I wouldn't. I'm still on the fence.
You did it in Cleveland County.
I know. I'm human. Where's Kyle? Kyle, break that hashtag. Pep is human.
Surely they're not playing another game in that conference tonight.
In what conference?
The Greater Metro.
Oh.
They played every night this week so far.
I think they're off tonight. I think they might be playing tomorrow, though. I thought I saw. I have to double check that, but yeah, we were joking last night. I was at Mountain Island and Joe was there, and we were saying, "Hey, man," and Coach Washington from Mountain Island was happy that he had so much media coverage, and Joe was like, "Hey, we just start the MAC conference and everybody just play on Tuesday nights in this one conference, and they get all the media coverage." But it was good to see Joe. I hadn't seen him. I hadn't seen him on the show in weeks. So
surprised he's not on here this week, considering Sunday.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. We'll address that in the slime for sure. Don't worry. In several ways. Yeah.
Next slide.
All right, CMS best of last. Couple changes in the middle. Mallard Creek moves down to the 10th spot, moving to the right side of the screen. Of course, North Meck moves up because of their victory. But, I mean, pretty much everyone else is pretty stable. I mean, RG Kell, I didn't feel like moving him down too much for a 6-point loss to Myers Park. I still have them above Olympic, who was off last week. But, the right side after Mallard Creek has pretty much remained the same for the most part. I think we've pretty much got to a point now to where you can see there's some clear tiers here. So 1 through 5, you would say championship contenders in my opinion. 6 through probably 11 are guys that you don't want to see in the first round of playoffs that can pull an upset. And then 12 through, the rest of them, they've pretty much been in that place all season long. So what do you guys think here?
I really expected more from Independence, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just a personal thing with my affiliation with them, but really thought that they would do more. And I'm sure, as the season moves on and as they, fix some things, maybe they will. But that one's kind of sad to me, I guess. No, just personally.
Yeah. Go ahead, Professor.
Oh, no, I was just gonna, I think you on the head. I mean, take a West Charlotte that's going to be a 3A school in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you do not want to face the West Charlotte Lions in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, they're just going to be so much bigger and so much more athletic. And I think that it really speaks once again to the quality of football and CMS, because there's some good football that's being played by those teams on the right side. Those aren't slouches. Those aren't gimmies by any means. Any of those teams can win if they play A-plus ball. We just have really good football in CMS.
I certainly agree. Miss Wolf, I like your comment here. Can Coach McKee get an interview for the way he's turning North's program around? Hey,
no.
If that's what you want, we will effort to make it happen. So, Coach McKee, well, we had Coach Marine on the show already. So, Coach McKee, if you see this, or North Met guys, if y'all see this, let me know, and I'll reach out to Coach McKee. He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Want to?
Yeah, you got to want to be on the show. So. But no, that's a big win, and I'm happy. They have some really talented kids that and some of them came to the camp over the summer, and they're doing big things up there.
He'll come,
sure.
Man. No one turns down Pep, man. He'll be here.
No, that's not the case.
I mean, maybe Nick Saban. Other than that, no one turns down Pep.
Everybody love Pep, man.
No.
Like a sitcom.
No.
But anyway, going back to North Meck, it's good. I was just kind of looking at the left side there. North Meck, West Charlotte, South Meck. It's good to see those teams sort of rise from their rebuild. Because, not too long ago, all three of those teams would have been on the right side.
Right.
But now, the work that they put in is starting to pay off, and now you see that where they are now. So that provides hope also for the guys. If you're watching this and you see your team on the right side, it doesn't take long to get on this left side if you put the work in.
Well said. Amen to that. A couple good comments here. Jeff Holland says, I think if RG Kell can get that offense together, they could make a deep playoff run this year. Defense played legit against Myers Park. Hey, I mean, absolutely.
It is together. Sometimes it's got to be consistent. I mean, they put up some big numbers at times. They just got to develop the consistency. The talent, Jack is there. They just got to, develop some consistency with it. But
and
there.
So let's look at this. They've played Porter Ridge and Myers Park. Two very good teams. The past two games that the offense has struggled. It's like I was telling on the live show last week, Mr. Curtis came on and was disappointed in the loss. And I said, hey, other teams coach too. They have good players, and, it happens. Every game you're not going to go out there and put up 40 points. I mean, it's not – if it was that easy, we'd all be coaching and, being happy, and, Webb would be mad all the time because the D-line couldn't do nothing. But it's not – it doesn't work that way.
Question for some of you guys, because y'all have seen them play. Myers Park, Audrey Kell game. Was it more impressive that Myers Park held Audrey Kell to 6 points or 7 points, or more impressive that Audrey Kell's defense held Myers Park to only 13 points. I mean, those are two high-powered, high-octane offenses, and the defense had to play lights out. Which was a better defensive play?
My opinion is Myers Park's defense, because we know now that Myers Park lost their best offensive weapon at receiver. So, when you lose a really great player, sometimes it takes time to, adjust and, figure out what you need to do. Now, we don't get injury reports or anything like that, but from everything I know, AK was at full strength, on offense. So that's just my opinion on that. Justin was there eventually. He went to the wrong school in the beginning, but he eventually got there. But I haven't had a chance to talk to him in depth about it. So if he ever
he just sent me a text. He said he's on StreamYard. I think he got last week's link. Pap, you might want to send him a new text.
How is that possible when I sent it to you and him in the same email? See, this is what I'm talking about. Failure to follow directions.
He just need to have some accountability, man. That's all.
Exactly. You know what? When he gonna have to run some gassers for this, man. Because this is ridiculous.
He's tapped out.
Hang on. Chris Hawk, Pep the Great. Let me tell you something, Hawk. Man, last night I'm at Mountain Island, and one of the referees comes up to me and says, "Hey, what's up, Coach Hawk?" And I'm looking at the referee, and I said, "When have you known Coach Hawk to cover games with a big old camera on his neck?" I said, "I'm not Mr. Hawk," and he just kind of turned away and he looked embarrassed. But you are a celebrity at Mountain Island, Chris. You're a celebrity. They were looking for you. They didn't see you.
That's where he came from.
And that ref, I'm sure, is very disappointed. So. Funny story, but apparently never mind. I ain't gonna go there. I was gonna say something. Anyway, let's move on. All right, games of the week. Here we go. All right, so first on the docket, we got West Charlotte at Hoof. We talked a little bit about this already. I talked about it on the Between the Lines I did right before the show. West Charlotte, of course, is really getting it done throwing the football this year. They put up 62 and 55 points in the last two games, respectively. The big thing about Hoof is their defensive back ability. They're going to challenge these West Charlotte receivers. So one of the things I was talking about was West Charlotte is going to have to find a way to either free those guys up or they got to find a way to run the football. Plain and simple. And they can do it a little bit, but they're going to have to do it enough to really, make a difference here. What do you guys think on this one?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think this is going to be, I don't want to say a reality check, but it's definitely going to be, a meter to see how well West Charlotte's offense actually is because, I've had the opportunity to watch Huff play live, and I know, what they did to a Chambers team that's usually good at, getting some things going on offense. So, I'd be really interested to see, what's going to happen with this game because I know that defense stood really tall that game, and I don't think they have any desire to look back. So it's going to be a tall test for West Charlotte for sure.
I definitely agree. I think the big key here is, West Charlotte, the longer this game is close, it favors West Charlotte, plain and simple.
Right.
Defensively, they can't give up big plays. They're going to have to make Huff earn it. And this is going to be a game that really tests, West Charlotte at all three levels because Huff has the power to run the ball with Xavier Turner-Knox. They got J.T. Smith Jr. that can get out in space and do some special things from the running back spot or the receiver spot. And then, of course, they got a really good quarterback in Tad Hudson that can throw the football and make some plays on the outside. So that's the biggest challenge, trying to defend Huff here. And they're at home. I think it's homecoming up there. They're number one. There's going to be a big crowd, I'm sure, for those guys. Any other thoughts for this one? All right. we got it. We got the matchup right, but the location is wrong because of Max Preps. Imagine that. Ardrey Kell is going on the road to take on South Meck in a big SoMec game. South Meck at halftime is honoring some people that I think they're putting in their Hall of Fame, which is really cool. Some people that really contributed to, South Meck over the years. So it's a big night for South Meck, not only on the field, but, at halftime as well to recognize those great people. But we start looking at this one. We just talked about the Ardrey Kell offense, struggling the past couple weeks. South Meck was off last week, and I'm sure they went and scouted, Ardrey Kell. And Kenneth, I want to ask you, man, is it a big advantage when you're off and you go scout somebody and have 2 weeks to prepare for them?
It can be, and I think something that you always struggle with as a coach is during your off week, what days do you practice? Do you take Monday off? Do you take Friday off? I took some Fridays off over the years and ended up giving them a long weekend, and I thought that it bit us in the butt the next week because our kids just came in on Monday lackadaisical. So there's some strategy there. There's some philosophical differences that different coaches will talk about. I think it helps the best, obviously, when you're injured, and it helps the best when you're facing an offense that's a little bit peculiar. Like if you're going up against a South Point Red Bone offense, you want that extra week of preparation time. Otherwise, I don't know if there's a huge advantage, in this day and time with huddle and highlights and all that kind of stuff. There aren't a whole lot of coaches who go and watch the other teams play anymore. And even when they do, you see them, they're up there screwing around and cutting the bull. They ain't taking notes like what we took in 2003 when I first started coaching. So I don't know how huge it is. It's mostly a big deal if you're banged up and you need to get guys healthy. My thoughts.
Yep, good insight. Good insight right there. So you talk about South Meck, producer. We've seen them, of course, up close. They really had the big offensive line. Ardrey Kell's gonna have to find a way to help, control the line of scrimmage in their run game. South Meck's zone-based run game, inside-outside zone. Jacob Newman does a great job in reading the holes and cutting off the backs, and that's tough. It's tough to stop. If you don't, stop him before he gets started. So Ardrey Kell's dealing. I have to find a way to get penetration, and that's going to be a tough order against that big old line. Conversely for Ardrey Kell, how did they get the offense going against South Meck? South Meck's good at all three levels. They can rush the passer with Jaden Medlock coming off the edge. Matthew Reddick is a beast in the middle. And then, of course, Takai Moss at free safety, helps get the secondary set up. So, you guys got any other thoughts on this one? All right, good stuff. Next game we're going to look at is Union County showdown between Weddington and Porter Ridge. We got number 1 in Union County going against number 3. Weddington 5-1 on the season. Porter Ridge at 3-1. Weddington, after giving up those 38 points to Ardrey Kell, 2 shutouts back to back against Olympic and Piedmont. And then Porter Ridge coming off the disappointing loss to Marvin Ridge. What do you guys think here?
I think for Weddington every week, I feel like they're trying to prove they are a good team, even though their best player in school history is now gone. So I feel like every week for them is kind of like they're trying to let everybody know, like, yeah, I know we had Will, but we still got the same coaches, and like this still like this Weddington football is still Weddington football. So I feel like with them every week is like they're trying to make a statement, no matter like who they're playing. So I just feel like with them, I feel like them guys are going to continue to roll. It's going to be hard beating them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But,
go ahead, Queen.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, but you got Porter Ridge coming off a loss, and so they're going to try to do some things. But like y'all said, I don't know if they're going to have anything for Weddington. So that'll definitely be interesting to see, especially playing at Porter Ridge.
Yeah, I know that environment's crazy down there. Right?
It is. I'd actually like to go back out there because the student section alone, it definitely energizes them. So yeah, we'll see.
Is that where you're going?
I can. Sure. I'm going to get it. I'll be out there. So.
All right, Damien, you watching? Damien, so you know what the queen looks like, obviously. So make sure you introduce yourself Friday night because she's gonna be there. All right, good stuff. So next on the docket, we got a big game in the Big South Conference. One of the big games in the Big South. We got Kings Mountain going on the road to take on South Point. So. South Point, we talk about that red bone offense. I did an interview with the running back Tyson Riley, who is very talented and a very well-spoken young man. I mean, he really has been raised right, man. Those are the interviews I love doing. He's a military guy. He moved up here from Florida 2 years ago, and he's putting up big numbers in that South Point offense. And obviously that's going to be the focal point for Kings Mountain. So, Webb, I'm going to ask you, man, South Point, he's the dive guy. So, as a D-line coach, how do you coach to try to stop that dive? Because it's really
tell
hard.
some secrets, Coach.
How big is it?
In basic terms.
How big is it?
Oh, Tyson, he's only 5'7". He's a smaller guy.
Ooh, that's tough. So, I mean, a lot of teams, I think it really just depends on how you scheme them up. I know the defense we put in, we have a lot of guys keying in on that fullback. So we emphasize that, like, we have to tackle the fullback every play. Like, any chance you get to hit the fullback, you have to hit the fullback. It don't matter if he doesn't have the ball or not, he's going out for a pass, whatever. You have to hit the fullback. I feel like with them, normally with him being the fullback, they normally have a bigger guy there. So it's interesting as well. I didn't know he was that small, so that makes that offense even more dynamic because he can get through them small creases that they set up front. So, I mean, it's really just how you scheme it, man. What I will say, do not play a 3-man front against them unless you have legit 3 dogs they cannot block. When I mean dogs, I don't mean like 3 athletic guys. You need 3 big boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I feel like I know the defense. If anybody wants a defense against them, we got it down here at Big Shelby that we implement. Actually, the guy who came up with it, he's the head coach at Freedom High School now. My guy, Coach Holmes. So we have a defense that we put together for them, but it's not necessary to shut them down. Obviously, you can't necessarily shut it down, but it can beat them. So I mean. I feel like after watching the South Point and Crest game, we watched the film, broke down the film. I feel like it was unusual because South Point did a lot of things in that game that they normally don't do.
Okay.
And it was shocking to see, regardless of who they were playing, for them to be up 20-7 and lose that game because I normally think by playing them, they get any type of lead, 3 point, 6 point, 7, 10. It's going to be a tough task to come back because they're going to milk that clock. So I was just surprised to see I was surprised to see. I didn't doubt Crest was going to win the game, but I was really surprised to see South Point blow that lead.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, we're going to come back to the Blitz because our next guest is here. So hang tight. We'll come back to Kings Mountain South Point and then the other 2 games there. So you guys get a break. All right, but we're going to switch gears. Our next guest is the head coach of the Piedmont Panthers, and he's doing a great job with that team. They've been having some success this year, and his name is Aaron Braswell. We're going to bring him on the show right now. Coach, how we doing, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Matt?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank you for taking some time out for us. I know you were out there on the field painting lines and doing all the fun stuff that you get to do in the grass field. So.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe one day we'll get us a turf field. We won't have to worry about it. But we had some parents out there and some of the kids, and we were getting after it. Got to finish up a little bit more, but it'll be ready for tomorrow, and it's going to look real nice. So as long as we get it done right, I'm not too worried about it. So
there you go. Well said, Coach. Well said, man. So, for those that don't know you, you're a pretty young guy, man. And then you graduated from Piedmont on top of that. So, first of all, how does it feel to be head coach at your alma mater?
Yeah, man, just a little background for anybody that's watching and doesn't know who I am. I am a Piedmont grad. I graduated from here in 2015, played a couple sports, played football and baseball, and then I went and played football at Davidson College. Had a great time there, played under 2 different head coaches. And then my senior year, I actually was ended up being a student coach. I had a career-ending injury my junior year. Had a pretty bad concussion, and they cut me, so cut me off there. But it really is a God thing. I'm a man of faith, so I will say that is a God thing that I'm back here at Piedmont, because I never saw myself as a potential coach. I mean, I think my parents might have, I think some of my friends might have, but I never really saw it happening. I actually left Davidson with a psychology major, communications minor. And then I was working in the business world for about a year until this opportunity came up. I got a call from another Piedmont coach, just kind of saying, "Hey, we need some help. I didn't know what you have going on. Can you come out?" And I was like, "Well, it's actually interesting. I'm in between companies. I was leaving one company, a recruiting firm, and I was hoping to take a job with a consulting firm for their summer class. And so I had about 3 or 4 months where I had some time, and I was like, you know what? Let me give some coaching a shot. So I came out and I was coaching. I actually took over the head coaching job for the track team at Piedmont. I was helping out with the football program, and I was also helping out with the baseball program the first spring that I was here. And I think that was in 2020, right before all the COVID stuff happened. So what a crazy time to get into coaching, right? But essentially, I was here for a couple of months, and just felt right. I really enjoyed working with the kids. Enjoyed, serving them, pouring myself out to all the kids I was coming in contact with, and even with, some of the people I was coming in contact with as far as the teachers and the other coaches that were here. But then, COVID hit. So some more craziness happened, and ultimately, through a couple of head coaching changes and things like that, some of the people I met, and then just my own personal development being here and working under those coaches, they decided to move forward with me. And part of that was, some push from the other assistants that were here. Part of that was from the head coach that was leaving. And then ultimately they thought I was a fit primarily because of my desire to stay. And I think I heard you at one of your first shows. Actually, you were covering Union County, and you were talking about us and how we ranked in our conference, things like that. And you talked about how we needed some consistency, and I think that was exactly it. Consistency is what these kids deserve. It's what they need. And so I came back here, and I intend to stay. Part of that is, just the fact that I went here. And another thing is, I just got great kids. I have awesome kids. I have awesome parents. I have an awesome community. And they just need some love. They just need some love. And they need somebody that's willing to come in here and do what it takes to get the right stuff done. Just like talking about lining the fields, and also when it comes to our football program and getting our schemes right, getting our coaching staff right, getting our system right. And like I said, I think they deserve that, and that's what I intend to do.
Coach, that's impressive, on several fronts there. The fact that you remembered a show that we did months ago that I don't even remember. I like you already.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no problem, man. You got a couple comments here. So Evan Sawyer says the GOAT, Coach Braswell.
That's my boy. Yeah, that's my boy, man. They like I said, man, I got great kids, and I will say one of the best things about getting started here as the head coach has been just the relationships I've had with these young men, and Evan is one of my seniors. Like I said, I appreciate that he said that, but they see that I'm just going to be real with them, and I think that ultimately as a young coach, that's what I need to do in order to gain their trust, and to show them that I'm willing to do what it takes to make them successful. And honesty is always what's going to do it for these kids, man. Because these young men, they can see through any kind of BS you try to throw at them. So if you bring to the table your true, authentic self, they're going to give you their true, authentic self, and ultimately that's what makes successful, winning football programs.
Amen. You got Justin Smith on here that says legend.
Well, my kids are going to blow this up. They're funny, man. They, I think you asked about me being so young, and yes, I am 24. When they gave me the job, I was 23, and I know that's, ultimately it's not the first time that's happened. I know that there are some other people that get hired at that age, and it always comes down to just the empowerment that the young coach can give to the players. And I think that was something that was shared to me from Coach Dan Casey. You may have seen him on Twitter. He's a pretty big Twitter guy. He does a lot of scheming and stuff like that. But I actually played with his brother, Nathan Casey, at Davidson. And Dan was a guy that kind of, obviously mentored Nate, and then Nate mentored me. And so I connected with Dan prior to getting the interview for this job. And that was one thing he thought I could really focus on, is just bringing some empowerment to these kids, right? Showing them that no matter what age you are, no matter who you are, where you come from, that you can be a leader, that you can be consistent, and that you can always give your best attitude and your best effort. And those are my two things, man. Best attitude and effort.
Awesome. Well, you got several more kids posting comments, so
I'm sure you could probably spend.
So guys, I can't put all the comments up. We got other stuff we got to talk about, but I appreciate you guys watching, man. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. That's awesome stuff. What's your coaching philosophy on both sides of the ball, Coach, if you don't mind sharing?
So part of this is just who I was as a player, and part of it is something that I've kind of taken from our O-line coach Bernstein, who is phenomenal. Very, very blessed to have him with us. And defensively, Coach Jenkins is leading that side of the football. But we always talk about making it as simple as possible so they can read, react, and play football. Right? Because defensively, that's what it's all about. Can you read? Can you understand what they're going to throw at you? And can you react and play football? Right? And be physical and tackle. And really, Coach Bernstein says this all the time, football is blocking and tackling. Right? Can you block well? Can you tackle well? No matter what kind of athletes you got on the field, if you're blocking the best, you're tackling the best, you're going to win the football game. And really, my overall philosophy for both sides of the ball is physicality. And offensively, man, we are a run-heavy football team out of the spread. And so we run the spread, but we do run the football a good bit. And we lean on our big and strong O-line, which is something we are known for here at Piedmont. And we let those guys go out there and bully people. There are times that, I've definitely seen them kind of hesitate early on in the season. But once we just told them, hey, this is who you are. Be who you are. They've taken it. They've ran with it, man. We had 3 games in a row where we had 300+ yards rushing. So we were moving the ball, running the football, and one of those games was against Parkwood, where we had a tough one there. But ultimately, the kids have bought into that idea of just being a physical football team, right? Defensively hitting hard, tackling well, and up front offensively blocking well and running the football hard. We'll probably talk about a few kids, and we'll talk about some of those guys that bought into that, but they've really made it happen when it comes to their physicality.
Yeah, that's awesome. And before we get off, I'm gonna put all these comments up, man. They are going crazy over here. But see, I'm gonna tell you something. That's a reflection of how they've bought into you, because we've had coaches on here all the time, and this is by far the most kid comments that we've gotten. So I mean, this speaks a lot to what you're doing with your program.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bring on Coach McClamrock, and I'm sure he's got a question or two for you, Coach.
Sure.
We call him the professor because he's smarter than all of us.
Fantastic.
Coach Braswell, how are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you, man?
I'm well. I'm listening to you, and there's no question of why kids are buying into what you're doing. I mean, you're 2-4. I think you easily could be 3-3, and maybe if you played one team a little bit later in the season, you might even have a winning record right now. But listening to you, I almost forget how young you are, if that makes sense, because you are very wise beyond 24 years old. I would not have been a very good head coach. I was screaming, hollering, acting a fool. I do want to ask you a couple of things. Number one, when this job opened up again recently, I had a couple buddies reach out, and we were talking back and forth. They were asking for my advice, and I just kept saying, guys, I think they've had 4 coaches in 4 years. Like, this is not a very good job, but here you are and you're doing major things. So I just want to ask about the culture. I mean, you talked about not feeding BS to the kids and being real with them and all those kinds of things. That's all great, but you actually have to be able to coach to get kids to buy into that. Yeah. What has been kind of a moment in your early career where you kind of realized that kids were starting to believe what you were preaching to them?
Well, man, I think it was before I even got the head coaching role. And when I got here and just kind of started to hear what these kids had to say, it was pretty easy to relate to them and understand where they were coming from, why they were, struggling, and why they were not necessarily buying into the previous coaching staffs. And really a lot of that is just, they wanted to be put into a system where there was some belief there, right? Not in a system that was like, well, this is who we've always been. This is who we're going to be just because this is all they're capable of. They wanted to be in a system that had some belief, right? And part of that was this spread offense that we're running and the way that we play football, right, is that, hey, you guys are athletes too, right? This has the lack of success has had nothing to do with the kids that have come through here, the ability that's walking the hallways. It comes down to just having a coaching staff that believes in you, right? And that's willing to give you guys the tools to be successful. And that's something I learned from Coach Abel at Davidson College. I will give him a lot of credit. He was my coach my senior year. Unfortunately, I never got to play for him, but I learned so much as a player coach, working alongside the running backs coach, Coach Maypray, who was all-time purpose leader at VMI. It was, like I mentioned earlier, it really was a blessing in disguise that I got injured my junior year. They brought me back as a captain and to help out with the coaching staff. And Coach Abel just brought this attitude of belief, right? And this attitude of we, right? It's not one player, it's not one person in the program, it's all of us that's going to make us successful. And I brought that to the kids day one when I came from out, the business world. Just let them know, hey, like, why can't you be great? What is it that's holding you back? And a lot of them just felt like, well, I wasn't put in this position. I wasn't told this. I haven't been taught this. It's like, well, let me teach you, right? And that's where it's come from. And, when we had this spring season, obviously everybody went through a lot of adversity with the spring season. It was crazy. But one thing I could focus on with the kids is teaching them some fundamentals that they maybe haven't been taught in the past. They have been expected to know, right? And so starting with foundations and just building up from there. And then also, again, like you mentioned, you got to preach to them something that does make sense, right? And I have been lucky enough to have played under, some really great coaches in my life, starting from middle school. I played for Coach Randall Boone in middle school in Georgia, who played in the NFL. And then I played for Coach Ron Massey at the high school level, who was a phenomenal coach and, in North Carolina. And then again, when I got to the college level, I got to, I played under a few different position coaches. Coach Hood was my position coach, defense backs. And then Coach Abel, when he came in, they just know what they're talking about, right? And so I took as much information in as possible. And now I'm sharing it with these kids. And you probably know this really well. Coaching is not necessarily being the most original. It's just taking what's out there and giving it to the kids in a concise manner, in a way that they can understand it.
Coach, I got one more question, and you actually maybe changed gears just a little bit. I was going to ask you what it was like going back to your alma mater to coach that first time. I was an assistant at Concord High School. Obviously, Coach Fulmer was one of my guys. Love Dylan. But I'm going to change up just a little bit and ask you about Coach Massey, one of the most respected coaches who has ever coached in North Carolina. Such a great man. So many people felt so deeply about. Coach, give me one way that maybe Coach Massey touched you as a young man, as a young player, because he was so much more than just X's and O's. He was what you're talking about, building those relationships, those rapports, and changing men, not just creating football players.
Absolutely.
What is one story that you could share about Coach Massey?
And man, that's exactly it. Who he was is who I try to emulate. Somebody that he's always talked about being an 11, right? Taking any situation, anytime you were, whether it was school, outside of school, relationships with family, or football, and being the best you can be no matter what you had. And for me, man, it really, what speaks volumes to who he was for me. I was actually a baseball player first. I had an offer to go play at Wofford my sophomore year as a catcher, and then I was going into my junior year thinking I was going to be a baseball player, right? Well, then he moved me to running back in his triple option system. Hadn't played running back in high school at that point. I had played Mike my freshman sophomore year on varsity, and I bought into it. And then I had some of these schools come and talk to me, and I was like, I never knew I had this opportunity. I weighed about 160 pounds. About 5'11", barely 6 foot, and I was physical, but I just never thought it was an option. And he was honest with me about when people started coming, I remember Duke showed up one time, and we also, at the time, Cameron Tripp was also playing with me, quarterback, and they were coming to talk to him really, but he was very honest, right? You're not going to go play there and get on the field. He said, but there's some of these other schools that you can. And then when I talked to Davidson for the first time, they come to the office. He asked all the questions. He was the one talking to the coach. Anytime the coach asked me a question, he stepped in and said, well, what about this? What about that? And I just was like, I would never have known to ask these questions without him. And it just showed how much he cared about me, and how much he wanted me to be successful in my future. And he truly is he is the reason I'm playing. I play college football, and he's a big reason why I'm here at Piedmont, doing what I'm doing. So, I mean, like you said, he was a phenomenal man. I still keep in touch with his son, Zach. It was a crazy situation that ultimately led me to be able to do some things in college when there were tragedies that happened at Davidson, as far as just mentoring younger kids and handling those situations that, it is crazy to kind of tie it all together and see, wow, having that relationship with him, even his passing has led me to this point, and taught me so much about life and how to be a great person, great human being first.
Wow. Well, Coach, I look forward to following you guys. Dylan is hounding me to get up there to see you guys. Do that soon. But Coach, good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Professor. We'll see you in a minute.
Good professor. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, we try to have fun around here.
Oh, absolutely. That's for, man.
So, Coach, I'm going to give you a chance to brag on your kids, and I'm just going to put these comments up as you talk about your kids, man.
Okay. Phenomenal. Yeah, man. We have, over the past few years, we've had a ton of kids come through here that have had some talent. And my biggest prerogative, honestly, coming here was developing the individuals so that we can be great as a team. And really the kids have bought into that. And there's a few of them really that have stood out. Going into the season, we knew we had some standouts. Like you saw Evan Sawyer earlier. This comment from Gunnar Diedrich, right? Those guys are going to be your leaders. But we've also had some other guys step up, play really well. Leighton Duke has been a kid that coming into the season was playing corner for us in the spring, and he was a very athletic guy. Has trained a lot off the field and been a phenomenal presence in the football program. But I saw a lot of athletic ability in him, and I was like, we got to get this kid the ball. So we put him at running back, and he's leading the Union County with 600 yards right now rushing in about 5 games. He's only played 5 games. And then this past week against Weddington was a tough game. So he could probably be a little bit higher, if he had played that ANSA game for sure. But he's done really, really well at running back, and he's also played really well at safety for us. Evan Sawyer is a kid that's just really a high character guy. And everybody knows it. He's the 2-time champion, as he likes to call himself. He's the senior class president and the student government president for our school. So he stays really involved and is a leader through and through. I believe he's going to. I really hope he gets into a service academies. That's what he wants to do. Just wrote his recommendation to West Point, and I think he's got a phenomenal chance at getting into West Point. I think he wants to play sprint football for West Point, but would also love to play football at the next level. Gunnar has been a guy that has led us so well. At that center position, he's the heart of our offensive line, and he's a guy that I took him up to a Davidson camp and had a conversation with their O-line coach. They got full belief that he's a D2 FCS level offensive lineman. He's gonna get there. We got to just get him to the right people. Justin Smith is a guy that unfortunately in the spring had some stuff going on with COVID. And he's fast guy on the team. He ran track for me in the spring. Very, very talented athlete. Plays free safety for us and also plays that Z position for us, a slot back. He's got some burners, man. When you get him the ball in space, he's going to take off. And so he's done really, really well. And across the board, we got some juniors that really have stood out. For me, Reese Lester up front has been a bully. He's about 6'4", 230 pounds, and he's skinny, right? He could put some weight on, and he's gonna be a guy somewhere. And we're working on it for that guy. The Goodman twins on the outsides, but left tackle, right tackle, Josh Goodman and Aaron Goodman. They have done a fantastic job. At cornerback, we've had but Jake Evert has been playing corner for us. He's about 6'1". Looks like he looked 6'2" today. I don't know. He was walking up to me. I felt short. I'm sorry, what's going on here? But he's a long, lanky guy, very fundamentally sound cornerback. And he also plays some receiver. And then Devonye Stevenson is also our other corner. And he dunked on 2 FBS level receivers this year when we play against Monroe and Parkwood. He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a sleeper, man. He really hadn't played since middle school because of some of the stuff that had been going on here. But he came out and has bought in and has been an absolute stud. He picked off he was covering Shalik and picked it off on a jump ball. Then he was also covering Isaiah Mobley and picked it off against him. Both those guys are like FBS level, like talented guys. Obviously Shalik's going to Maryland, and Mobley's going to find a place somewhere at a big school after seeing him play. So Devonye is a really, really solid corner and very athletic. Can't wait to keep developing him in this offseason. And the biggest thing I'll say for our team, man, they're finding success even with all the coaching changes they've had and the short off season that we had with the 2 or 3 months in the summer, right? With the newer coaching staff, new system, right? They have really taken this and ran with it, and I'm so excited to see what they do in the future. Our JV team is 4-2 and has been playing really, really well. And man, these kids they're going to see some success, right? Now we play in a tough conference, as you know, moving up into the 4A. And but what I told the kids is, hey, this is just another opportunity to test yourself against the best, right? And that's what we did last Friday. We tested ourselves against Weddington. Obviously, they're a very, very talented team. But everybody that was at the game knew that we did find some success against them, but we need to be better across the board. But ultimately, these kids are comfortable where we're at in 4A, and I'm comfortable. Right. These are the same teams we have to play every year anyways, whether it's non-conference or in conference. So why not go out there and compete, right? We're not going to shy away from anybody. We're not going to be afraid of anybody. We're going to bring the same juice no matter what, and we're going to be ourselves. And that's a testament to who these kids are and the kind of heart that they have, the kind of character that they have. And they have no idea what they're capable of and the kind of conversations that our coaching staff has had behind closed doors about their ability, about their potential for the future.
Coach, that's amazing. That is amazing stuff, man. And your passion, I can see it flowing as you talked about your kids and you love your kids. Yeah. And my final question comes from one of our panelists, Joe Hughes, who's not here, but he's watching. He says, "What is Coach's daily hair routine? That hair is glorious."
Oh my gosh, man, that's funny. That's funny. Oh my gosh, I have a little stuff. I don't know if I don't have it in here, but some stuff I put it in the mornings just to keep it nice and curly. Keep the frizz down a little bit. It was a recommendation from my sister. She's got long, beautiful curly hair. This is the longest I've ever had my hair, but the kids. It was funny in the. I think it was in May it was around when I first got the job. I had grown my hair out pretty long. I was looking kind of cavemanish. Yeah. And then I came out to practice one day and I had tried out a man bun. And I got this man bun in right now. And the kids looked at me and they were like, "Coach, you can't ever change it. There's nothing you can do. You got to keep it now." And it's funny. It's funny when one of my coaches, my offensive line coach, when he calls down, when we check in on the headsets, he calls me Jon Snow. So it's always really funny, man. They're got some great people here, man, as you can tell.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, man. That's awesome. Well, Coach, man, we appreciate this. I'm gonna have to get down there, at some point and check you guys out. I mean, you got some good
Absolutely.
stuff going on.
Yes, sir. Well, and what I would say to you, man, is I'm still learning the game, obviously, and I'm still growing as a head coach. One thing I really want to do better is kind of continue to build my connections with people like you and other collegiate coaches. I've used my network of people I've played for, and then I've also had conversations with other coaches like you and other high school coaches to kind of connect. So I know you've got a great thing going with this stuff, and you do a really good job promoting the kids and trying to get them to the next level. Let's keep working on that, man, because I got some kids that can play, and I'm excited for them to play at the next level for sure.
All right, well, Coach, I'm gonna shoot you a message later on.
That'll be fantastic.
About that. So,
two guys I did forget. I know that I always get forgotten. Specialists. Our long snapper is a 4-star Coles long snapper. He is phenomenal. He's already gotten some offers from some D2 and FCS schools. And then our kicker, Gavin Hoyle, has knocked down some good field goals this year. I think he knocked down a 42-yarder against Anson, and he has his big leg. So those two guys have done a great job as well. So pretty solid across the board.
Absolutely. That's awesome stuff, man.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, once again, we appreciate the time, and we'll definitely be talking soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much. You guys are doing a great thing here. So keep it up, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely. Have a great night, man.
All right, you too, bud. All right. So that was Piedmont Panthers head coach Aaron Braswell. I'll tell you, man, that was fun. That was a fun interview. He's doing some big things down there at Piedmont, and we've seen the results, coming across. They're a lot more competitive in a lot of their games, and he's a testament to that. All right, so let's see. Let's get back to our game previews. So I'm letting y'all know now that it's gonna be a long show because we ain't even got the predictions yet. So just settle in, and this is overtime for Football Focus Weekly, so we ain't got no problem with that, right, guys? That's what I thought. All right. Oh, they're not on the screen, so.
I mean, as long as I'm compensated accordingly, I don't mind doing a little overtime.
Your compensation will match your contribution, so.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I got to figure out how to mute you so I can just talk then if that's the case.
Oh, go right ahead. I'll mute myself.
Nah. You're going to do it anyway.
No. You don't. You're not on that level. That's only illustrious level treatment. So anyway, we were talking about Kings Mountain and South Point, and Coach Webb had just given a great breakdown on how they kind of slow down that South Point offense. You're looking at the game. South Point needs this one to stay in the conference race for one of the top 2 seeds. Kings Mountain right now is in, tied for first place. So, it's a huge game from that perspective. The one weakness South Point has always had is covering the pass. Kings Mountain has some ability to throw the football and they have that big play ability. But we got a variable in here coming up Friday. Rain. If it rains, South Point has a big advantage. So South Point's doing rain dances. Kings Mountain's doing, what's the opposite of a rain dance? Sun dance?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Is there a sun dance? Is that a thing?
It is now.
Sure.
I mean, they got the Sundance Festival, right? So
right.
You gotta
See,
go somewhere.
I with it, man. Hashtag
right.
Petman Sundance.
Where's Kyle? I haven't seen Kyle all night, man. We have a show without the chat administrator. Oh, here he is. All right, he's here. Hey, we need that hashtag, Kyle. Petman Sundance. Hashtag Petman Sundance. Let's get that on the screen. All right. Anyways, anyone else got thoughts on Kings Mountain South Point before we get crazy?
No.
All right. So Kyle's preferencing Hickory Ridge at Lake Norman, one physical ball game up on the lines of scrimmage. Absolutely, man. You got the Filthy Five at Hickory Ridge going up against that Lake Norman traditional strength they have in that program up front and running the football. Contrasting styles, though. We've seen Lake Norman have problems against Davie County. That was their loss. Davie County spreads it out and puts guys in space and throws it around a little bit. Hickory Ridge has that same ability to do that. So, can Lake Norman find a way to disrupt what Hickory Ridge likes to do on offense? The best way, and I think, is their offense. Obviously, running the football, first downs, keeping the chains moving, keeping that offense off the field. That's what Lake Norman has to do to have success against Hickory Ridge. Now, Lake Norman, they're not going to be scared of Hickory Ridge. Hickory Ridge right now is the best team in this conference, but where did Lake Norman come from? The IMEC. We knew what the wars were in the IMEC every week. They've seen teams like Hickory Ridge before, and they've given these teams problems, in the past. So they have the know-how on that coaching staff to get it done. It's just, do they have enough, Jimmys and Joes to pull it off? What do you guys think here?
Yeah, I think
you go ahead.
Go ahead, Coach.
Oh yeah, I think Hickory Ridge is just playing a lot of they want guys to believe in them, like in the community and stuff. So I feel like every game they get a chance to play, man, they're trying to prove themselves every game. So I know it'll be a good, hard-nosed, hard-fought game. But I think Hickory Ridge, with the loss to Chambers a couple weeks ago, I feel like they have a chip on their shoulder going into every week.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Professor.
No, I was just going to say, Pep, you hit on the head. Right now, Lake Norman's best defense is their offense, is keeping Hickory Ridge's offense off the field. And if they can continue with that 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, play action pass, and you keep that high-powered offense of Hickory Ridge off the field, that offensive line becomes a non-factor. That Christian Hamilton becomes a non-factor whenever you're not getting a whole lot of plays. You limit his touches. That's how Lake Norman wins this football game.
Well said. Definitely agree. Let's see. Kyle's chiming in. Mooresville had some success on the ground versus Hickory Ridge. Different style of offense, obviously, but I expect Lake Norman to be able to run the ball well. Okay. Like I said on Between the Lines before the show tonight, Hickory Ridge has seen offenses, that are run-based, heavy run-based. They've seen Charlotte Catholic, and they've seen South Point. So the thing here is this is not foreign to them. That's one of the big keys here. A lot of times Lake Norman will play someone, and this is their first time seeing this kind of run-heavy, option-based offense. But Hickory Ridge has already seen that, especially in South Point. So I'm expecting, to have a good game plan coming into this. And I think it's going to be a heck of a football game. It's going to be a heck of a football game for sure on Friday night. All right, so now we're going to talk about Big Shelby. Does this rivalry have a nickname?
I really don't know. I have been so locked in on the game plan. If I knew it, I couldn't tell you right now.
Okay, well, that's fair. That's fair. But this is a big one. We're planning to be there as long as, everything works out. We got Crest going on the road to take on Shelby in Cleveland County. I every now and then I do peruse good old internet message boards that we used to have back in the day that I don't believe in anymore. But but there's a lot of Crest and Shelby talk on this message board I'm looking at, and they think there's going to be thousands of people here. So
it will be.
Okay.
I gotta get there at 2:00, man.
The gates.
You can go ahead. I'll give you a detailed analysis of what you're in for.
Okay. Well, the gates open at 6. There are no electronic ticket sales. They're only selling tickets at the gate. So you can call that old school if you want to. But definitely get there early. I expect it to be probably overflow. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to stop letting people in, are they, Big Shelby?
I don't know if I can answer that.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Normally it'd be jam packed, so I'm sure they're gonna keep selling till they run out.
So what were you gonna share with us to expect?
Well, you can expect this game is basically, man, it's a very family oriented game, man. Our schools are only 5 miles apart. You have cousins of each other cousins on each team. We have like our coaching staff know each other very well. Their defensive backs coach Omar Porter, He worked at Shelby. The defensive line coach from Crest played at Shelby. The linebacker coach from Crest, Coach Young, me, him, and our DB coach, Coach Raper, and our wide receiver coach, Coach Collins, we eat together every Sunday. It's their head coach, Coach Nick Eddings. I feel like he put his own imprint on the rivalry, man. These two teams go way back from the beginning of the time, man. To me, it's the biggest rivalry in the state of North Carolina. I'm not downplaying anybody else's, but for me, just being in the game, growing up in the city, coaching here, playing here, man, it's one this big one, man. It'll be a lot of these games can go either way, man. You never really know. Our records really don't matter when we play each other. It just whoever shows up that night, man. It's a lot of family fun atmosphere, man, from the fans. Fans been going at it all week on social media, on Facebook, man. It's one of those games where these are games you live for as a kid growing up here in Shelby. Whether you pick to go to Shelby or you pick to go to Crest, these one of those games that nobody really matters about the other games. They really want to know what type of imprint that you're going to put on that Shelby and Crest game whenever you get your opportunity to play in it. So it's going to be packed. I expect it to sell out. You might want to get there early, get your parking spot, get your seat because it's going to be a fun night of football.
So we got reserved parking, right?
Come on now, man. Get there. Hey, all I can say, if you can get there before we barricade it off by our locker room, I might can arrange something.
Pat man, he needs room for the limo.
All right, so that was my first question. The second question is, where you gonna have the chicken at?
Hey, well, inside source told me that you guys may get caught in the cookout line. Now, I ain't gonna reveal my source, but he is not on the show right now.
Cookout line.
That's what they said, man. But whenever you need the chicken, man, you let me know when y'all get there, man. I'll make sure the chicken.
Man, I'm gonna be there at 6:00, man. Where the chicken gonna be?
Hey, man, our first group go out at 6:05, man. I can't tell them, Ken, I can't be out here passing that chicken at 6:00.
What time do I need to be there?
You gonna get me yelled at?
What time do I need to be there to get the chicken? I'll be there.
I mean, you coming from Gastonia, so you got
not answer the question.
You need to be there about 5:30, man.
5:30. All right, 5:30.
You hear that?
Hey, if you want to get there early at 4:00, man, y'all can go chill somewhere, do something, man. But I'm telling you, it's gonna be. We ain't played each other in 2 years, dog.
Okay.
It's been 2 years since we played each other.
All I know, I'm gonna be there at 5:30, and I'm gonna send you a message and say where the chicken at. And that's all I'm gonna say.
5:30, man. It'll be waiting on you.
You see what kind of aggression that fried chicken brings out of Pet Man?
Hey, producer, is he failing to realize I have a game to get ready for?
He's not worried about that.
We agreed. We have agreed to these terms.
Like
I have
got
no
a dinner for him to get ready for. Then you can play a football.
I have no problem with getting you your chicken, but you can't. It's a time that our coaches we cut off all access to us.
Oh, you said 5:30, so we don't honor 5:30.
Producer, my preference would be around 4:30, but I don't know what you're gonna do until 7:30. I guess that's your.
I'm gonna eat the chicken. What you mean? What am I gonna do?
Like you get there around 4:30, that'd be perfect.
4:30. All right, 4:30. Okay.
You get there, producer. I'll let y'all work out. I don't know where you're coming from. I'll let y'all two work that out. But I know he's closer. Now,
I'm a whole producer some chicken. If
I gave him some chicken, producer, I just want to let you know.
I don't trust it. I need to eat beforehand. I don't trust him to save any chicken, to be honest with you.
Are you serious? As long as we've gone back and the losses we suffered at Harding University High School, you don't trust me to hold no chicken for you?
No.
I don't know, man. If I need,
come on.
Let me answer that.
If I need a block on 4th and 1, yes, I trust you, man. If I need a flat tire change, but chicken, that's a whole nother level, man. You see what that brought out of you, man.
Boy,
hey, that's what I'm saying.
Come on.
Producer, he want me to put my job in jeopardy.
Chicken, man. Chicken
in the biggest game on the schedule thus far.
If you had to rank things,
it would be like him ask for a ticket, asking his sons be on the field playing. I grant that, man. We have no access. No. But you want me to? Almighty, man.
Well, I remember what it's like on a Friday night.
Yeah, I guess Pep don't remember, man.
I get my name on.
I do remember.
Yeah, we got a pregame meal. We've been so locked into practice. I even asked where we're going to eat pregame meal at.
Oh, do y'all change every week?
Hey, man, we're very blessed to be a part of this great Chevy community where we have multiple churches and organizations that love our Chevy Go to Lions and take care of our Go to Line football players and coaches on Fridays. Sometimes we eat in the cafeteria, but each week is somebody different. Parents, churches, community groups. We have people take care of us, man. So I'm very grateful for that.
We weren't never that fortunate. That's pretty awesome right there.
Yeah, we don't know what that's like. That's awesome, though.
Tell him to read the shirt, Webb. Read the shirt. That's why, right there.
Hey, this is actually for basketball.
Ooh, man.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Let's see. Chris Scott says, Webb, hold me 2 tickets.
Oh, no. Jim tell you that. Chris Scott is a Shelby guy.
Okay.
Chris Scott is the guy that he came out and covered your Under the Lights camp. I forgot what his brand name is. I think. Can you believe opening game against Kings Mountain? He picked against his own school.
No, you can't do that, Chris.
He picked against us.
You can't do that.
Now he's asking for his school to help him out.
Chris, come on, man.
It's funny how God works, man.
That's why I put the LOL on at the end of that.
Because he know better.
Dang on, man. That's messed up.
You know better, man.
All right. Miss Burlows, I'm not putting that up. We ain't going there again. We're not going there. Oh, man. All right. So let's get to last week's predictions. Oh, this is ugly.
Oh, I got 2 right. Yeah. I got 2 right, though. I got 2 right, though.
I'm glad I was on the phone with Hulu.
Hey, okay. And I would have been 4-2, but when I seen Barry versus Harton, I forgot that's Philip O'Berry for some reason, and my guy called my phone, the defensive coordinator, and let me have it. And I totally overlooked. I just seen Barry versus Harton. I said, "Oh man, I was tired. I would have been 4-2, clean, very." But yeah, I won't pick again.
Yeah, Barry did let us know. Well, not all of them, but one of the coaches did come up to us and say, "Hey, all picked against us." I said, "I know."
Tall guy, yep.
My guy Dan Rockwell, man. He was at Ashbrook, man. My guy Dan. No, he was at Crest. He was at Ashbrook and Crest. Now he's at Philip O'Berry, doing a good job with those guys there.
Yeah,
we're used to that though. Teams often remind us if we ever pick against them. They'll remind us. We won't ever forget who we picked against. They remind us.
Sometimes I make videos.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder who did that. We ain't seen many videos this year.
I'll be the first one to let you guys know. If you ever pick against Shelby, which you already have, we'll come on this show every week with our head up and chin down because we are a legacy. All tradition. Right. We don't let 1 week's opinion affect us.
Well, then, all right. Kyle Sharon, we won't talk about my 1-5 record. Hey, Kyle, 1-5? No wonder you ain't talking about your picks last week.
He said nothing.
You should have put a Big Shelby logo right there, man.
A Big Shelby logo?
And when you write Big Shelby, it's all caps, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do better next week. My apologies. All right. Let's get to the games this week. Joe, why don't you make some predictions?
Hey,
judging everybody.
Do you guys know where Joe is at right now? I won't let you guys. I won't let. If y'all don't know, I won't.
I have no idea where he is.
I know he's not working. How about that?
Oh.
He's out having the time of his life right now.
Oh, wow.
Well, dang, Joe.
I could
have got an invite, man. I was there with you last night, man. Come on, Joe. I'm going to have a good time.
Joe just flying under the radar, man, buying new college shirts, man. He's just – hey, Joe will be there Friday, too, if you got a problem with him, Pep.
No, he told me. I saw him last night, but yeah, he told me
I'm
he's going to
slowly
be
starting
there.
to think he's a Shelby High guy, man. Slowly pulling away from Gaffney, man.
He doesn't need any help with that, Mr. Burlows. He didn't need no help with that. All right. This week's predictions. Here we go. South Meck and Archie Kell. I'm going to take South Meck. Professor.
Sabres.
Big Shelby.
Dang. I always get stuck with these games. I'm going to go AK since they let me down last week. I'm going to go AK one more time.
All right. Producer.
South Meck.
Queen.
South Meck.
Weddington at Porter Ridge. I'm going to take Weddington. Professor.
Okay, the Warriors.
Big Shelby.
Weddington. See, never mind. He throwing that mascot. I don't even know who he talking about.
That's why he does that.
I know, man.
That's why he does that.
I know, man. I know. I'm like, who? I'm like, what
I picked that team last week.
I'm going Weddington, man. I'm going Weddington.
Producer.
I'm gonna go Weddington.
Queen.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go Weddington.
All right, you going down to Porter Ridge. You don't
I know, and that's why I was hesitant. But
Whoa,
you know, it just is what it is. It is what it is. Prove me wrong. Porter
You
Ridge,
going to
prove
Porter
me wrong.
Ridge and you choosing against them?
It's always
Listen, I do it all the time.
It's always interesting when you pick against the place you're going.
I do it all
Hey,
the time.
I know Queen don't pick against us, so she always on my good side.
Hey,
All right, Kings Mountain at South Point. I'm going to choose South Point. Professor.
You already know. 1998 still burns deep. Go South Point Red Raiders.
Big Shelby.
I'm going. You know who I'm going with, man. Anybody but them. Let's go South Point.
Ooh.
Oh, producer.
I've seen them this year, so I'm gonna go South Point.
All right, Queen.
I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in this. And I'm
Oh,
gonna go
my
Kings
God.
Mountain. I'm gonna go Kings Mountain.
All right, Hickory Ridge at Lake Norman. I'm going to ride with the Ridge boys. Professor.
I'm going to stick with my county boys.
Big
Hickory
Shelby.
Ridge.
I'm going with my guy, Coach Shepard, man, in Hickory Ridge, man.
Blood runs deep.
Producer.
Hickory Ridge.
Queen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Hickory Ridge on this one.
You ain't gonna throw another wrench?
No. One is enough, okay? One is enough.
I have a feeling we might all be over on that one, though.
I'm gonna text him and find out what's the game plan.
Finally, Catawba Ridge at York. York burned me last week. I'm going to go with York. Professor.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay with York as well.
All right, Big Shelby.
I'm gonna go with York again back-to-back weeks. But one thing I do love about Catawba Ridge, I like how they have the captain patch like the NFL on the jerseys.
Yeah,
That's pretty
very
dope.
cool.
That's pretty awesome, man. For had that in high school, that's pretty awesome. Well, I'm going with York. Sorry, guys.
Producer.
Like you said, they burned us last week, so I'm gonna go York. They earn my respect. York.
All right, Queen.
Yeah, I'm gonna go York.
Clean sweep for York. All right.
How you not gonna have? Never mind.
Because I'm going there. That's why. I want to get out alive.
You gonna get out alive regardless, man. As long as you roll with who you come to see, man.
You know who I'm going with, Coach Webb. You already know.
I'm just saying, Pep. I don't understand, Pep. You coming to
You
That
can't
could've
even,
been a bonus. That could've been a bonus.
promise me my dang on chicken. How am I going to put y'all on the screen?
I said you're gonna get. Hey, producer,
that,
I see
bro?
what you're saying, man. I promised the chicken 5 weeks ago.
What's the barbecue place up the road on 74?
That's what you need to be talking about the barbecue from Bridges
What's it
Barbecue.
called?
Man. Bridges Barbecue.
Bridges Barbecue, Pep. That's where you need to head.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
You really, if you really want to find something to do, if you get down there early, go to Bridges
Now,
Barbecue.
you got to be there about 4:30 because that place
Yeah.
was packed when I drove by.
Well, if you want some good fried chicken, some great fried chicken, man, you need to go see our defensive tackles mom, Jerika Best, in the best group in Shelby, North Carolina.
How am I supposed to know where that is?
Just how you the same way you GPS Bojangles, you can GPS.
It's a restaurant. Oh, it's a restaurant.
It's a restaurant. Yeah.
All
Right down the road.
Okay. I got you. All right, Kyle, that is not true. I we have been doing 6 picks. I wanted to keep it to 5 picks this week. And I try to represent every different area. That's what I.
Last week you want to do a bonus game between the Cowboys
and
because there was an NFL game.
It was a 2-point game the week before that with Huff and Chambers.
That's what I'm saying.
That was the game of the year.
No, it's not.
I said it.
No, who's the best rivalry of the state?
I'm not about to go back and forth with you about these teams who just now.
We got a new illustrious treatment now. Wow. We got new illustrious treatment now.
Yo.
Good gracious. You see how calmer it is now? You see how calmer it is? We can actually get through the bullet points.
They don't snap his finger and made him disappear. Man.
Yeah, that bad internet, man. That bad internet bug coming back around.
Here's the thing, though. If he doesn't reappear, you may not get your chicken. Right. You're really
man, I'm not getting my chicken anyway. I guarantee you, I get down there at 3:30 and it still ain't gonna be no chicken. See, look at that. He been off the screen for 5 seconds. I already ain't getting no chicken. See that?
Well,
see that, man? Come on now.
You blocked the blessing once again, Lord.
Come on
bringing
now.
me down too.
No, you brought yourself down because you talking about you couldn't trust me to get you your dang on chicken, man. Come on now. What the heck?
Nah, producer, I'm getting your chicken, my guy.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna make sure the pictures look extra nice. So I got you, man.
Can't believe you're gonna sit in here while I'm on this show and say the Shelby and Crest game is big. That's like me telling Kenneth about A.L. Brown and Concord. That's like me just disrespecting that rivalry they have down there.
Because I didn't put it on the game prediction?
I'm just saying, you said Chambers Huff biggest game of the year. I'm trying to figure out how. Why? Because they play at Memorial Stadium?
No, it was 1 and 2. They were number 1 and number 2.
You will find out how big the rivalry is when you get down. Hopefully you make it there live. I'm just hoping producer, I'll make sure you get out of that pep. I can't help it.
I appreciate it, man.
Yo, bro.
You're gonna get some great pictures from the game, man.
God, naughty. Exactly, Joe. Exactly. What the heck, man?
Joe know, man. You see Joe. If Joe was leading the show, he'd have that Shelby and Crest game on there, man.
Anyway, Robert Washington.
Wow. Hey, whoa, Robert. There's no way. We are a family. Me and that nasty Popeyes, man. Popeyes is that's disrespectful to even type that while I'm even watching this show.
They got a good chicken sandwich though.
Bojangles has the best chicken sandwich.
Bojangles or don't bang. Bojangles
I must be greedy because you can give me either one. Whichever one you pull up with, I'm gonna eat that one. I'm indifferent.
We got a Popeyes and Chevy too. So
no, they're both good, but Bojangles. I like.
I know you're a Panther fan. You have no choice but to like Bojangles.
No, that is not why I like Bojangles.
Some classic Delhomme and Smitty commercials.
Oh yeah, well.
See, look at it.
A bonus for me.
Amen.
Thank you, Miss Burlow. It's God's chicken, man.
I agree. God's. All right.
What's Popeye?
Wow.
Oh man.
Oh man.
What? What is the problem?
I'm in, Joe. I'm sorry, man.
Oh.
Hey, Pep, I do ask a question. Do you and producer want to be on the sideline? Because Joe, I'll be watching the iPad, looking at plays, and Joe's just right beside me. I don't know if he's advertised us or what. But Joe's on the sideline, man. But you just got to understand, our coaches get pretty feisty if you get in our way. So you better follow Joe.
Trust me, I'm not going to get in y'all's way. I'm going to be right on the dang line at the 25. I'm not going past it. I'm not going to get in y'all's way.
You better have sideline etiquette and watch out for the kids.
Oh, don't worry. We ain't getting baptized. That don't happen to us.
I don't want a baptism.
Listen. I done had a few shots where you see the camera is like, because I'm like, I can't do that no more. So I'm standing far, far away.
All right. We deep into overtime, but it's that time still. Oh, I'm not ready. My bad. It's slime time with Kenneth.
Not only is this the most powerful, influential show on the internet, but it's so powerful that the NFL or Nickelodeon One has started a Slime Time show of themselves. And I bet it's going to be based off of what we do. So you know what? We're just going to start with my man because I know he's already fired up. We got to keep him fired up. Big game this Friday night. Coach Webb, who are you sliming this week?
Man, I am sliming the Philadelphia Eagles, man. We had a prime opportunity to get Stephon Gilmore and Jalen Smith. I don't understand if we want to just keep getting beat, man. We need to make some moves in front office, man. We win the Super Bowl and just let everybody go and been downhill ever since, man. Let's go, Philly, man. We got to pick it up. We got a big game against them Panthers Sunday. I ain't going to speak on it, but I will see y'all on the show next week.
Don't get on my bad side, Coach Webb. I like you too much right now, man. Don't be coming on here talking about the Carolina Panthers because that's one way. Cherie, let them know. In fact, Queen, who you sliming on this week?
I'm about this close to sliming him for that comment. You need to keep those comments to when you're not playing us, okay? No, but so I actually Christian McCaffrey, he's been in the news a lot lately. But there's another McCaffrey that was in the news recently. A friend of mine pointed this out to me, so I'm going to do this slime in honor of him. Apparently, I think it was his brother, who is one of the assistant coaches for their father. Forgive me, I forget the school's name. I'm not going to lie. But he threw a clipboard into the stands and hit a 60-some-odd-year-old man with it. And, he didn't do it on purpose. So, don't get it twisted. But he still gets the slime because I'm like, dude, you ain't have nothing better to do. You couldn't have kept that, within the realm of like the sideline. You could have thrown it anywhere. You throw it into the stands. You hit a fan, not a fan, probably all upset. Because he like, man, that was my, he probably hit and broke something major. He didn't break anything, but still. So I am sliming Christian McCaffrey's brother on behalf of my friends. So there you go.
I have not heard that story. That is crazy. But Cherie, can we just back up a little bit? Can we get Cherie back on the screen and let Cherie show off those nails?
Yes.
What?
Because I will be at the game on Sunday, and I got my nails done just for it. Just for it. Yes, Panthers out.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Producer Brandon, who are you sliming on this week?
Man, I'm usually not that guy. I try not to, I'm usually not that guy that talks about refs and refereeing and calls and stuff, but I know they gave some reason why it couldn't be overturned or reviewed, but that was clearly a fumble that Jeremy Chin caused against Dallas, man. Clearly one. Good form tackle, fumble, ball pops out, see it in slow motion easily, but no, we don't get the ball. And, I know that the game didn't come down to just that one play, but, I feel like the momentum dropped. The momentum shifted after that, man. So I got to slime that entire officiating staff. For that blown call, man, that changed the momentum. It took a little bit of the air out of the defense. So, got to slime them, man. Do better, refs.
I'm with you. That was a garbage call. Every year you see something get changed in regards to replay and what can be replayed. I think that's something the NFL's got to take a look at. Pep, who are you sliming this week?
Oh, I can't wait to slime this person this week. Oh, my bad. I'm too excited because I have evidence to go with my slime. The first time ever that I'm doing this. So after the Cowboys game, I made a post on Facebook and I said, congratulations to the Cowboys for the third of their 9 wins that they're going to get this season. Because we all know they either go 8-8 or 9-7 because that's what Cowboys do. They're mediocre. So then we had several comments, but this one was especially disappointing, and I'm going to share it right here. From our own Miss Moten, who said, come on now, don't hate on us like that. Hashtag Cowboy Nation. One of the best fans we have on this show is a Cowboy fan. And I warned her that she might get slimed tonight, and she said she'll take it. So you're going to have to sit here and take the embarrassment of being a Dallas Cowboy fan in the heart of Carolina Panther country, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself for this. This is despicable, and it's almost a fireable offense from Football Focus Weekly, but we're going to give you one chance to repent and say that you're not a Cowboys fan and join Panther Nation. What say you, Miss Moten? I want to see your response before the end of the show, but that's who gets slimed tonight. Terrible and very disappointing.
Yeah, I've got to say, I never thought we would be given ultimatums on the show, Pat, but I love it. I love it. How can you like the Cowboys? I just don't understand it. And honesty, I forgot who I was going to slime. They've been on my mind for several days. I remember that it was a woman, but that's all that I can remember. So I'm going to slime the gas station that I pulled into a couple nights ago to get gas. There's one thing, there's one response and one response only. You pull up to the gas station, you get out of your car, you get your wallet out, you get your card ready, and you go to put it into the machine, and there's a little sign on the gas pump that says prepay only. This is the year 2021. Why do we have prepay only signs on gas pumps? Who still pays with cash? And with that being said, who goes in and says, I would like $49.13 worth of gas? Like, it is never right. One guaranteed thing, I don't care how long my light has been on. I don't care how far away the next gas station is. One guaranteed thing that is guaranteed to happen in my life. If there's a Bojangles, okay, maybe a couple things. If there's a Bojangles, I'm going to stop. Don't trust white girls. We all know the deal. Get Chick-fil-A sauce. It will change your life. But another guaranteed thing is this. If the gas pump says prepay only, I'm going to put my wallet back in my front pocket. I'm going to get back into the car, and I'm going to drive until I see another gas station because I refuse to go inside. Why? Because I don't like to be told what to do. We've talked about this. When I put my little debit card in the machine, I don't even like for it to say, keep the card in the machine, and now you can pull it out because I do not like being told what to do. I've got one person who tells me what to do. Her name is Maggie, and she is the mother of our two children. I refuse to have anyone else tell me what to do. So prepay gas pumps, you get the slime.
As they should. I totally agree.
Hey, look, I wasn't sliming the Carolina Panthers. I was saying we got a game against you guys, so I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know how.
Don't just stop right there, Coach Webb.
Right. You're digging your hole deeper.
I want to say, I always thought all this time that Miss Moten was a nice person.
Hey, but Pep, is that your way of trying to holler at her?
No, it's not. It is not.
You putting them blessings to the test, I see. You sound you getting real personal.
It's personal to be a Cowboys fan. That's the personal part of it.
But you said you give her ultimatums as if y'all in a relationship together.
Why are you trying to start stuff, man? what's your relationship status?
I'm very much in love.
Football.
Well,
I have a beautiful, beautiful, loving, caring girlfriend.
When you gonna propose?
When am I gonna propose? Whenever the time is right, and after we get finishing accomplishing things on our bucket list.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Is getting Pepper's chicken on your bucket list?
To be honest, man, I don't understand why he gets so aggressive talking about that Bojangles chicken.
Because it's chicken.
This man kicked me off the show.
Boy, wow.
Also, hey, look, my boy. See, my boy Joe always coming for me, man. See, also, man, if you're into reading books, man, my girlfriend got a book out on Wattpad, man. Go check it out.
Oh, okay.
Her name is Deja Walton Jackson, man. Book called Best Kept Secret, man. So go check it out.
Nice. Awesome.
Might well plug her in a little bit since she's waiting on me to call her.
You want to we can have her on the show for a few minutes so she can plug it.
She's not really one of those interview types. We're working on it.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Put on the show. This is football. This is football, baby."
Well, we can do more than football. You know, some shows have cooking. You know, so,
Like tomato sandwiches.
yeah.
Boy,
She said, "Why he looking at him?" I'm Miss Mo, and I'm playing Madden. That's what I'm looking at. When I talk about the love of my girlfriend, no, there's nothing to get scared about, baby.
All right, so if y'all didn't notice, Miss Moulton said she couldn't convert. So she said she can't, and the reason was because her father would beat her. So.
Nah, what's it gonna be? It's either CFI or your dad. Like you gonna have to choose.
This is why we don't have Cowboy fans, because they're abusers.
Right.
Wow.
Oh,
Y'all
God.
funny.
Now, hold on now.
Tomato sandwiches, ew.
Oh, this is a whole nother situation.
That's a second
Yeah.
strike.
I like tomato sandwiches too.
We going down, man. We going
Tomato
down
sandwiches.
slippery slope.
Oh, yes. What you mean? Tomato sandwiches? You can't say that like that. Tomato sandwiches are God's gift to me.
Joke just going over all of y'all saying in the show. Hit the button.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what
okay.
you're saying. I saw the clip.
Okay, I just making sure.
Oh,
I'm letting
God.
him know. Yeah, I know why you said that,
Mhm.
but I'm trying not to go there. I'm above that. Okay.
I'm not above none of it. I know what
Y'all see why the producer rolls with me to every game now. Y'all talk about me. He's the one.
Yeah.
He is the one.
The producer's very straightforward, man. He's very straightforward, man. He doesn't pretend like Pep, man.
I am what I am,
What you
man.
talking about? Pretend. God almighty, boy.
Good night, y'all.
See, this is what happens when we go into overtime. So,
Boy.
anyways, me and producer will be at Shelby Crest. Kenneth is going to JM Robinson. Who do they play, Kenneth?
At North Stanley.
At North Stanley. All right, and then the Queen is going to Porter Ridge and Weddington. We'll figure out where Justin Adams goes, and I'll make sure he goes to the right school.
Is Justin even part of the show anymore, man?
Right.
Well, he's just like Joe Hughes, man. You know.
Nah, he's not like Cowboy Joe. Don't compare Cowboy Joe and Justin.
I know. Cowboy Joe is.
I think Justin just making time for what he wants to. And it ain't CFI, man. They have a CFI tryouts.
Damn.
So we need to give up. We need to give up his spots. What you saying?
I ain't say that. Hey, man, look, that's why you get paid the big bucks, man.
Oh, really? So, hey, we may have a reality show CFI competition to be the next host on the panel. So, hey.
Like the Squid Games.
Oh, my God.
Have y'all seen Squid Games? Oh, my gosh.
I haven't seen it.
I'm going to get to it. I just haven't got to it. I hear everybody talking about it all the time.
It's great.
I've seen the TikToks of Squid Games. That's
It's
all.
great.
What is it about?
You have to go watch it, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't want to spoil it for somebody that ain't seen it.
All right, the tradition, last comment, Miss Wolf, JV Love. So I have a poll up on Twitter. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do JV game of the week or if I'm going to go to a rescheduled varsity game.
Get the JV boys some love, man.
They've been getting love all season, but
JV guys never get any love, man.
so if we do the JV game, it'll be South Meck and RG Kell. But if it's a varsity game, it may be Ashbrook and Kramer. So between those two options, so
That'd be a good game. Ashbrook Kramer.
yeah. So the poll is pretty even right now. So it's on Twitter at Petman704. I'll retweet it. So the poll will decide where I go, and I'm gonna leave that at that. Good night, everybody.